I have all this in mind even though it happened to me a long time ago. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. That time I didn't understand why people got scared. When I told them this story and my mother asked me to stop, do it, and when I was growing up I understood why he had asked me. Now I think of it as an experience, one of those that is never forgotten. My mother worked at that time as a seamstress in a tennis factory that was by the Palacio de los Deportes here in Mexico City. It was his afternoon shift, and when there was a lot of work, Don Mario, who was in charge, asked him to stay a few more hours. It was her turn to sew the tongues and uppers of the sneakers. My mother really liked that extra money, so she almost never said no. But there were times when she had no one to leave me at home with, and so she would bring me with her to work. We almost always left at 9. But on those occasions of overtime, we would leave the factory at 11 or 12 at night. To me, yes, I really liked being with her, because after finishing my homework, one could start playing. And running like crazy everywhere, it was a huge factory, with long rows of sewing machines. It had a very high tin roof. At the entrance, there were 2 rooms that looked like offices, and to the bottom of all the sewing machines. Past the cutting area, there was like a very large and deep hole in the floor, where they poured all the tearing up of the fabrics that were no longer in use. That was my favorite place, because I liked to be jumping as if it were a pool on the pieces of foam rubber. One day, while I was playing there, I heard a girl behind me who asked me if I wanted to play with her. I turned around and looked at her. She was about my age. She was wearing a dress and very clean white shoes, and her hair was tied back. It didn't seem strange to me to see her there. Some of my mother's colleagues who worked this shift brought their children too. What did seem a little strange to me is that her face was very pale, and she spoke very seriously, as if she were a big person, but the truth is that at that age you don't care about that at all. So I said yes. So he told me to let us play tag, and without telling me more, she started running along the main corridor of the factory, while shouting that I was bringing them. I ran after her along the corridor, but no matter how much I ran, I lost sight of her. I didn't stop until I reached the first row of machines where my mother was working. Seeing me all agitated, she asked me what I was doing. I told her I was playing tag with a friend. She looked up from the machine sewing for a moment and looked at me strangely, but immediately returned it to the needle that had lost the thread.